around trying to find the old phones. Do you remember these? Does that seem like a blast from the past, from smart technology? How advanced technology is. Excuse me, I'm very unwell. LG. So, I've got a charger, but I haven't got a SIM card for this. And I'm trying to go back to the old-fashioned way. And you can take a battery out of these, compared to these smart devices. And then guess what I found? You won't believe this is me either. I was a member of UK's UN National Journalists as a researcher. First card was 1998. I did say that I did know people years ago, Freemasons and all that. And I show you the first one I first got. I wouldn't believe that's me. Ooh, look how old I am now. That dress I gave away, perfect size 14. Didn't wear glasses then. And this 2002, 2003 was a very bad year. Anyway, and that's how my hair went really blonde, and the straighteners and all this started coming out. So yes, my past research impressed. Did have a former life, you see. Yeah, I know, look at me now, my glasses. And the old fashioned. Oh, that's what I could hear. These big dictaphones, not with the technology now, all these apps, eh? Going down memory's lane. So, it's trying to source. So you can take these batteries out as a backup, because one of my phones is breaking on me, the screen. And this is just for texting and calls, basic things. And but the numbers on this is not ideal if you've got bad sight, because the squinting, which I have to do now, it's not good. So the plan was to try and recycle these, and it's got a thing for a headset. So the plan was just to give away these, recycle them. You can't just throw things like this in the bin, can you? So, and I was going to save these to give to as my membership of GMB Union in London. Britain's General Union. What date was this? Can't. Membership card. So I was grade 2. So that is entertainment. London Entertainment. So I was a campaigner years ago, so I got this GMB card of the union, and I was a member of NUJ Union of Journalism. That's where I got my former friends' experience training up. Used to run businesses, training. Got that training in PR, media, press relations, you see. And being in the same town all these years still, this is why they just want to shut me up. And it's just amazing when you suddenly find this and remember, oh my God, that's my old me. And how things have changed then, and how things are going on now. So yeah, so I got in front lines of any protests in London. They used to do these May Day things. And my son at the time loved it, because I was able to get in front of the, instead of behind protesters, I got in front where the police were, like, flashed my path and press. And, so my ex-Freemason friend, who was in the PR business, he got me trained up. And with his endorsement, I got the journalism, you know. Yeah, so I got my, so every so often you had to produce the evidence that obviously you got publications, which I did, and it is in my friends had an online website as well, so my articles went on that helped, and my coverage of, without all the digital media, as it wasn't there about then, as the way it is now, was, you know, hardcore journalism and researching. So that's where, and then things went downhill, obviously, after certain things happened in my private life, 2002 since onwards. So I didn't carry on, but I had a really good experience and met lots of really interesting people, and that was just one part. And then the entertainment side, so that's what I know about art and all types of subjects over the years, and that's what I taught my kids when they were growing up and travelled about. So yeah, so I got to get to know some really interesting people, and of course being a member of that got me into a member of this, and that's all the connections, you know. So yeah, and that's when I got to know well-known people and TV, media, mainstream side of things. Obviously, now I'm waking up to what I know, a period of years now. That's why things have changed in my personal situation, because the target in many areas. And we all have, you know, physical health on top. So I was doing a stream, and this viral thing I've got, it just showed, it was snowing as well, just showed that I haven't been able to do anything as I'd like, and that's why the public servants come after me. Well, not just public servants. I'm a target list for a long time, and no longer, because I've had to change a lot about me. And that's why I never got anywhere all these years on. When things happened to me, because when I got over, I didn't know what's what, because they just looked at me as a in the public eye years ago, and just still thinking I'm still the same old, which I'm not, you know. And people's got short memories though, haven't they? But this is not fully functional because it won't record. It plays a blank tape, but it won't record, and it's a shame, because I really don't know why it don't record. It plays, and you can rewind, and it's better to have manual things, you know, the old-fashioned way of doing things sometimes, because of the technology, the way things are going. This will be a masterpiece one day. Do you remember the mobile phones that used to be so big? Hello? And you said, weigh you down, you know? And the corded phones instead of cordless as well. So yeah. So basically, that's a blank tape. And I can't record on it, so I was just going to see how much these are. I mean, I can't even, it's not worth selling, because if I can't get record on it, it's not worth, I suppose somebody could repair this, but it's bloody heavy, and I think with the technology, the way things are now, I think it's a casing as well, actually. I don't know how long I've had this, I can't remember now. And I don't know, I think that's when I was doing these years ago, press recordings. You have to have a dictaphone when you're interviewing somebody, like. So that bit of the recording there, and you could put an earpiece in it. And the modern ones now I'd like to get is where you can learn to upload recordings onto, yeah, I can see where it's faulty, onto, software, you know. So I'm just learning about these things, but at the moment I've got a lot going on in my house. Made in China, typical. And it's like all these laptops and things, nothing lasts. Look, short stream. I'm just so frustrated. I almost mean to do so much today to progress and trying to deal with this and the other. And my brother, right, what's he doing? Watching my live stream on Facebook, and he don't talk to me. So I'm trying to eat yogurt because grapes and yogurt is all I can manage. My appetite's gone. Yeah, I've got a sandwich in front of me. That's been... So I've not been able to eat a full meal. Okay, my sister reckons all this, right, is a viral bug. And by the way, anyone out there that doesn't know about the subject of meaning words by Black Soul Edition 4 Fifth, and that's why I'd like to work with these people who are trying to help me. And I now need to move, and I now need to see what's available. But the commissioning side of... I have to be careful because I'm getting really, really dizzy and really queasy, and I'm not getting any better. It's like my coordination is going, and it's been like that since yesterday. My mate's trying to hold the phone, and they're just trying to watch over me today, because I keep losing my voice as well, and not getting any better, you see. So I'm trying to do something positive, like, oh look, this is a blast in the past, so we're trying to make some space in my bedroom. Yeah, clearing out stuff, because I'm going to have to move out quickly and very suddenly. All this major safeguard, a major health and safety in my bloody own nightmare. Then I don't want things, old SIM cards being flying about, do you know what I mean? So they're trying to get me washed in a minute, and I'm really struggling with things. So my brother was basically watching my blinking Facebook. About the wet room. So here's previously, I'm not trying to run fast, bear with me. But I've tried everything over the years, you know. I ended up in a wheelchair and trying to do my rights and stuff like that. And trying to work public servants and various things I've tried. Got all this in front of me. I don't want to drag on with the bloody past. But how can I when I'm constantly being bombarded? I do not like, I'm thinking, I do not like all this. So, without prejudice, I'm going to say, all you blinking public servants kindly respect my right to privacy under Section 8 of Human Rights UK. And also, you have no jurisdiction over me. There's no obligation to communicate without prior lawful full disclosure of the terms and conditions what you require of me is equal to you. So my conditional acceptance of offer will be only under duress, and I will limit offer of my personal information just to aid you to help me. Okay? So these things do get paid back by certain individuals. And because I'm so unwell, these are my true facts of the parties and personal knowledge. And these men and women are working on behalf of these corporations, public funded in the UK. And previously before, they failed in neglect to uphold everything that's happened to me. And if I was able, and not having all this keep going on, it's been weeks and weeks and weeks like this, and it doesn't help with all these medications, keep bloody changing on me, right? Excuse me. And this Home Group Limited Company, right, and that bloody housing, block this, block that. I was just bloody nightmare, and I've wasted all my bloody energy on this shit. And I know what's going on and why. It's all about control, men and women, you know. And back in 2012, I got displaced on my own, and I found this old letter. And key people involved then, I had my sister then, I had a lawyer then. Just watching this bloody smart device going a bit strange. Yeah, so I had to fight tooth and nail to get bloody home because I got displaced and bullied and pushed out my bloody own home. So then the complaints department ran what happened to me and what led on to what happened to me by a bloody platonic male friend in my own home. Please didn't even bloody well believe me either. So constant, all these care plans over years, and I've got to really keep this short because I'm really feeling shite. So so basically, key public servant, right? But I did respond back to it. 31st of 1st 2018. While all this is going on, it's been going on for bloody ages. It's over 4 weeks plus, and I can't shift it. Adult mental health. I'm looking at titles and these particular job people because you see, since it happened to me last year and everything's going on, I've been trying to seek clarification and now everything's gone pear-shaped. And the claim to be a care assessment is not what you think it is anymore in my area, UK. So, seeking clarification by certain public servants and the job capacity role, what I found out there being behind things all along in certain areas since last March. In conjunction with the housing, NHS, this all key public servants and private companies, even more so to date. So when there was an email, 19th 1st 2018, and two actually, I've not been able to print them out. And so this is what I mean, I'm so weak and so ill because they changed in the bloody cheaper pharmaceutical medication. Look. Morningside Pharmaceuticals Limited, Loughborough, UK. Change medication. I dare question that and I'll get labelled again. Bloody labelled again. Why can't you get off your arm thinking, stop labelling people just because I dare to ask a question. And then all these years you say, they lay out my bedroom, the aids, the hoist, medical equipment on top. Safe use of a hoist and give care space to manoeuvre equipment in my own name. All this was forced upon me by a community occupation therapist in a particular care home without my consent. And well, the arrangements and the drawings and layouts not changed since then, obviously. But I've got no storage space. A lot of stuff being recycled, obviously, by all this disrepair going on as well. But every time I've got assessments, or housing assessments, there's nothing big enough to move to. Hi. I'm just me. Did I show you my photographs? Do you want to have a laugh? You want to see what it used to look like? I've lost the little thing I had them. Oh, here we are. To recognise the old things doing things. Look at that. It's addictive. Do you want to see what it used to be like? I did have all my life before things happened to me all this time now. Yeah. I look different. My hair's all put up today. I used to be in the media. Yeah, before I had glasses. My hair's much longer now, but me not being able to have a shower. As a woman, I feel frustrated. My teeth are better, right? So it's me before glasses. That was 2003. And this one, believe it or not, perfect size 14. All my own teeth. And no teeth that I see now because they're damaged by the mainstream bloody NHS. And this was me in 1998. So I've met a lot of these famous, well, so-called famous people years ago. Right. Look different. And then, because of that, I got to be a member of GMB in London. So this is what started mixing into entertainment side. GMB membership. And a SAP card. So yes, I've got a past in media and mainstream media for what I know now. It's a bit ironic I find this today after what I know about so much stuff now. It's like I don't know of anybody else. You suddenly wake up to all this stuff over the years now. And how did I wake up? Where did it start? You know, all this. That's why they've come after me, because they want to shut me down. I don't do expose videos, by the way. You notice that on my channel. Mainly the past year, all this housing disrepair, it's mainly about that. And then the care. And then my bloody brother, it's Army. He's been behind things with my other brother. Mormon family. No disrespect to Mormons, by the way, but it's just my family for you. Yeah. So just because I was in mainstream media all the time, yeah, for my public life. And I can't change my face unless I have a face transplant. I'm joking. Gotta make life things. And then these iPhones, do you remember these? Non-smart. Yeah! I've got about 8 of these. One's on charge. If it works, I'm getting rid of the smart bloody phones. 2 of them. Getting all my data off and sticking to the basic where you can take the battery out. There's no chip in that. In the way is the smartphones. And you can put your SIM and you can top it up 10 quid for a particular network and you just get your texts and calls. And then use a laptop for emails. So people can stop blinking harassing me the way they are at the moment. So unfortunately with these type of phones, as you can hear, it needs a SIM card. But I'm squinting now. I can't see the little letters. So that is no good. I've got an old 3G Mate 2 ones, and that was the first type of network that had everyone had a similar phone and network, and that was where you could do video conference calls, you know. And I remember, have you ever heard of Breathe Assistant? Okay, what that system, that company worked, you had one number. So in the old days, my journalism days, and this was a great source. I got an old one I used to use with recording people, you know, but the modern technology now, you don't need this sort of thing. And it's fantastic, intriguing. I've got so many stories and situations and things that happened before. And certain people I've got to know, and I won't mention it because it's still in the public eye, but because I got to know certain things, what's going on in my area, right, darker side of life, stumbled across, pure chance, I had a website years ago, and it wasn't about expose, but I knew a certain public figure that was doing certain naughty things to certain individuals. I can't be specific. And he is now very much in control in the political arena in one's area. Why do you think police didn't turn up to get my witnesses when I got run over? Why do they think they start to come over me, neighbour me with, oh, I'm meant to be paranoid, am I? I'm meant to be delusional, am I? That came out of thin air. The only damn thing that happened to me while I was journalism, I got involved alternative remedies. I trained in London in reflexology, legit. Mind, body and soul, always be very fit, always into the gym, swimming. I've got so many photographs, and that's how I got into modelling years ago. And it's pure chance that the modelling was just mainly sort of promotional and photographic, and I met the alternative side of life, and I always had my kids, make sure they were clean first. But this was the odd weekend, and my mum would babysit occasionally. Then I get professional childminder in. But it's when my kids were like teenagers, really, that age group. So not so much when they're younger. And just because I looked so-called then, the blonde hair, the blue eyes, this perfect image, is what attracted so-called people to me. And I don't know, I just had this insight to things then, of a natural way of doing things. And when I trained up in the reflexology of 6 feet and beautiful music, like Indian type spiritual music, I've always been into that. And one particular individual, I used to run businesses, right? Mainly it was, I used to run websites. I had all these skills. My first computer was one of my ex-partners in business, and he brought the whole dial-up internet. Do you remember that? And so my son used to moan, "Mum, you're always on the internet, get off the internet." Of course, obviously then I was doing a lot more research of the internet. And of course, that's when I stumbled across Alex Jones years ago, for what I know now, obviously. And I still wasn't aware of the bigger picture of things, and so I was still going along, and suddenly I had this bloke, my old business, I was closing down for an ex-fiance who helped finance with another friend of mine to come in partnership with me in my area, and to set up with an ex-female friend of mine into Shed and Nail Salon. I was going to set up alternative reflexology business, and with all my credit, certificates, and then I rented out my old room, had my old room in the old house. Stupid me. My son and kids obviously older then and got their own place by then, and growing up, of course, adults. And that first time I'd used a website and used the advertising in my mate's, he had contact with the old mayor of Banbury and judges, High Court judges in London, all sorts. And I got introduced to these parties in Country Manners, Snobby, the 1%, all this stuff. I really see it all. Nothing praises me in that side. And some of it was, I was brought up religiously, and I knew it weren't, nah. But see, I know what goes on when men and women get frustrated, shall we say, and they go behind the scenes, you know what I mean? And just as much as these bloody puppet servants, what they get up to. It is really true, and my food's going a bit hard. I'm trying to eat, and I just can't eat. I'm on yogurts at the moment, yogurts. Grapes and yogurts and juice. Yeah, so when I cut all that PR business down and chose to go into natural remedies and healing and very fit and healthy, still going always into the gym and swimming and always fit and healthy. And I can imagine the changes now, how I'll be struggling for years to cope with all these changes in one's life. And anyway, at that time, I had no clue that this guy was a serial killer. Yeah. And I won't ever disclose publicly what happened and how it happened, because the mainstream media come after me, because I was the only survivor of what happened. It's all over mainstream media, everything. Why do you think I had to change my name 3 times? And being in the same town still these years on, and now in my position, that's why I'm targeted. Short bloody memories of these bloody people still around. Oh, what, they think I'm weak now, do they? Just because I now ended up, unfortunately, in this predicament. Why do you think they didn't get that CCTV camera didn't work to get those innocent 9 men and women all total? Back in 2009, I got run over because I would have been in a private care home and getting proper care by now if it happened correctly. And why do you think that peace officer come up to my bedside with my mother and her church friends at the time and blame me straight away without full investigation? I didn't step out in front of a car. The back wheel of a car ran over my left ankle and I stepped bang on that concrete road. And then all these years, I've had all these bloody assumptions being made by these public servants trying to say I'm making it all up. I've got black and white evidence. I've got everything. I've got all this background research, you say. And they do not like anybody that knows certain things about certain people. And now, just because I'm in my position, they're trying to take advantage, aren't they? They're trying to label me. Oh, she's this or she's that. Because they want revenge, you see. These evil entities, they ain't got hearts. They're not decent human individuals. They're so dark, evil stuff that's going on. And you only just scratch the surface when you start waking up. But I know a hell of a lot of stuff. And that's why they won't do anything to help me now, you see. I can go Pacifics because those that watch this channel, I know they play back certain things because they're storing information to create another label. Do you know what they're going to do? I said this in previous videos before everything happened here. They are going to use UK statute law and mental health 2005 and 1983, and they're going on the new statute law that's been implemented 2016, section 42 of vulnerable adults. All to do linking up the dots. And when you have background research and you know how to use the technology and linking up and profiles and things, you know how people get into their positions in the public eye, yeah? And they don't want people like I about, so they got to discredit your character. They got to come up with diagnosis. So this is the easiest way for them to do this and control one. These are just men and women, but their connections in their Freemasons, right? I'm not all about ordinary members. They're nothing higher than 33 degree. I'm the one that dealt with all of them. But the very small section of them, all my troubles, they've not harmed me. They've been so honourable and really great with me. But you see now, I don't look this image. It's all superficial, very superficial. I don't have that look. I don't have my health. So I can't be used at the time I was then in the ways they predicted and thought I would follow their path. No. My mum taught me grounding. She taught me standards, to be honourable. And good job, it took me many years to realise this, by the way. So yeah, so what? Unfortunately, I had that severe trauma. Police were useless. Absolutely didn't want to know. Why do you think I don't go to those key people that are still about? And why do you think I get the odd target? They, do you know, when these evil entities, call them men and women, go after my other neighbour at the moment. He's got a heart of gold. He's spiritually waking up. He's done my meditation CDs for 2.5 years, and they're springing on him because his connection to me. They make you isolated. They get your family and friends, so make you isolated, and they come in subtly. So they're using all this disrepair just an excuse. So they think it's going to affect my psyche, that I'm going to crack. Don't work. They want to get into your mind. And unfortunately, I've learned all these studying in the subjects over the past 4 years. It's why I studied contract law, Black's law, canon law. I don't know everything, but basic information. Because I sussed it out when I got blackmailed. I didn't know because I was in trauma mind. The trauma is true. The psychological trauma, the prey on to create you think you're on your own and you're vulnerable. You wouldn't believe half of it, how they're working on that more in the computer systems. You know, the AI, all of this online, all this so-called financial crashes, all the distractions. I know a lot of things, but I have to play it down, you see. I can't portray what I know because I just give them more ammunition, and I ain't gonna do that. So, all due respect is up to my eldest son, my daughter. My daughter's still brainwashed. It's so taught them so well over the years. What I got to know and how to, you know, this, be careful this, be careful that. Here's a yearbook of the Freemasons. I got one 1998, and anyone I dealt with or was offering the service, I'll look him up. I'll find out who's connected. And my ex-husband, yeah, you wouldn't believe what he was into. Jeez, why do you think I got rid of him years ago? I had an old friend in a village outside my area. His family owned half of the village years ago. He was a heart of gold. And if I'd only realised what I know then, back then, I would have married him. Because he wanted to marry me, we're just friends. But my ex-husband used him for $500,000. I must not tell a lie. Land for business. Evil, pure evil. And when I found out what he was up to through my connections years ago. He was using, and I hope you're not underage, if you are, disclaimer, from now on, don't watch this video. He was using underage people for personal pleasure. Do you know what I mean by that? He was visiting all of the adult side of life things. I'm not going to exaggerate, I'm not going to go into detail, just use your imagination. And he would blackmail people in business because he was higher than the 33 degree level. Much, much higher. And when I didn't even know after this, that's why his ex-wife divorced him. That's why he turned violent on her. That's why he turned violent on me. But you see, I didn't see these things till after I got rid of him and went to my ex-connections, and they got their revenge on him for me. But in a subtle way that he couldn't see it coming. He went bankrupt in the end. It's what you know and who you know mixed together. All these people I've known, you see, now they're too afraid to come our way. They are so too afraid. I've still got contacts with them, and ways I contact them is private. But you see, a lot of these are well-known people, so-called mainstream media. Do not ever, ever believe what the mainstream media, I'm sure you're aware of that, especially nowadays. The advanced technology is out there. I had an ex-boyfriend friend. He travelled to Dubai. IBM, this was like in the early 90s in UK, and he travelled around, and the things he would produce on his laptop, the information of what he saw and what he was doing. He was from a bloodline family, a part of the 1% elite, who had a heart of gold. And he said to me, if it wasn't for the constraints of my family connections I've got an obligation to, I would have been away elsewhere. And I can tell you're intelligent, that you're clued up, and you've got a spiritual heart. We've always been loyal friends. And until such time that he got set up in one of these country manor type parties where the drink and drugs are freely available, yeah? And one female, how she got pregnant by him was not in a conventional manner. So, discharge condom with his you-know-what in. And she got a syringe and got it in herself and had his child that way. And obviously all these years on, you see, from that time, you're saying, I couldn't let that child, you see, it's my DNA, he says. I can't let that child not know who her father is. And unfortunately, I could see that, his dilemma, because that he was tied with his business contacts, his family contacts, worldwide, bigger picture behind the scenes. And he confided in me a lot of things. And I've always kept quiet about, because it's not done me no harm. So unfortunately, yeah. You see, when you hear about the subject targeted individuals, you think people are just making it all up, yeah? They're just losing it. It's intelligent, smart. You trust your gut, don't think with your mind, and never think with your mind. Trust your inner heart and your gut feeling on all these things, and do your own research, and be careful how you do it, because everything's more monitored than you can ever believe. I'm the old west school of doing things, and good job I know how to do that still, yeah? So I have to play it down with certain individuals, yeah? Because they are just dying to find a slip-up fault that I might do. To come in, you won't see me for dust. You see my videos, what happened to me last year? Yeah, the setup they did on me? I don't even go back on that channel when I said, warning, I'll be disappeared into the care system. Serious. And there's umping up the ante. Up the ante severely now. So I'll guarantee by the end of this week, you ain't going to see me. Because if I'm not seen to be playing their game, they'll create this great big label. And the way the system works on people, you see it all in the mainstream media, don't you? But why do you think, well, obviously don't think, but why do you think they are pushing the label of mental health? And why do you think it's like crisis in care, crisis at NHS, crisis in housing? From years' experience of meeting these people and how they work, the alleged financial system as well in commerce, it's just pure luck I stumbled across information years ago. But because of my background and because of the so-called former PR public image at the time, in the same area, same town in UK, I wished I had independent finance. I neutralised that years ago when I had the opportunity. And I would have married that bloke. I would have been a millionaire as by now. And I would have had nothing to do with public servant. I wouldn't have been shallow, but my kids would have been in private education, learning Latin, business, yeah? And I would have, with that gentleman, he's now passed, God rest his soul, But do you know who got his estate? The state system, because he didn't have no relative to leave everything to. And that was a massive old century 1800s like country house with land. Yeah, his family in history were the first family to build a piece of building on like the country area. Yeah, and then over the years they sold land off, you know, for the developers. Yeah, over years. So God bless his former wife, who was younger than him, died. So I chose the wrong bloke, and I was so young at the time, and so naive, didn't see it, or did I? Because I went to the wrong guy, didn't I? Sadly. But here I am. Perhaps that always happened for a reason, because now I know things. And perhaps I got one over for a reason as well, spiritually, because I wouldn't have been in the position to go through all this personal hell and knowing and learning and researching. And that bing, I remembered the knowledge I learned years ago on my PR research. But I be low key about everything and watch what I do. So why do you think they haven't repaired that flat door? Why do they think they haven't done nothing? Because they want to make it worse than it is, to look for the public eye, i.e. public servants. But I can't cope. I'm weak, I'm illegal, I need control. Now to shut me up, to push me away for good. And unfortunately, do you know why they're crashing the public building, public services across the road? Mainstream media will never tell you that. And you have to dig deep to find the reason behind it. Certain key people I know what they've been doing behind the scenes for years. One particular guy is behind the lot. I can't specifically state who it is because that'd be it for me. Okay, seriously. Don't mess with me. I don't mess up with nothing. I can back everything up if I need to. I've had to do a source of a certain document in a certain mannerism to hide away, and a certain digital type of documents as well, in a certain manner, in case anything happens to me. I know whistleblower. No. I don't go down that. That's all like BS. The real stuff behind the scenes. I'm sure good people out there, like all these channels, damn be careful what you're sussing out. But watch your back in every single thing you do. Nothing to do with paranoid traits. This is what they're coming up with, the labels, you see. I dare question. Be careful when you do. You dare question, and this system will be monitoring and scanning my face. I don't give a shit, because for only on this life a short period of time, when they change medications on me, what do you think that does to the DNA? It's to weaken the immune system, to make the body weak, so you're one that's weak in the mind, body and soul, yeah? So, unfortunately, I can't prove that keeps getting in my own. I can't prove what's been going on in my own. But if I try and make public what I know and how it's being done, that's it. They got what they want. Oh, she's paranoid. Oh, she's this, or she's that. Off to the institutional system, if you know what I mean by that. And that's it. Being in the same town. Doesn't matter where you move to, by the way. Be careful about this. The tracking of everything. You know, you don't know about that. You know, why do you think it's the digital currency? Yeah, credit cards, no matter what you do. If you ever know anything, have a system like food or items to barter with. Why do they think they crashed that system down? The old way of doing things some years ago. Why do they crashing down on natural remedies? It's just a massive, great big shutdown, and so much to control our natural, God-given human rights in every aspect. It's rare to find decent human kindness in people. And yes, very careful to watch the body language of the face. You can see me, I'm talking, never talk like this and straight onto the camera at you, do I? Not usually as efficiently like this. And never have I spoken about things like this in this mannerism before, have I? Time is running out if you don't realise this. And it doesn't matter for me. I know what's in the pipeline. It's because from experiences, you suddenly remember things and they want you to get confused and anxious. And again, easy control to be careful about the dew and foods, the water, the weather. It's all sewed up. Be careful about deception about flat earth and all this debates. It's all just distractions. What's going on in the big picture of things? It's worldwide. And if my friend and then years ago comes back and tells me all those advanced technologies back in the 90s, and we've only seen half of it now, he set up a company for them cars to run on electricity, self-operating electric cars. That was early in the 1997. And this area was the first prototype he wanted to set up. And his ex-partner in IBM was investing their funds to set up in, it's called Daventry, okay? Never was publicised. But because this area, former guy that passes away now, public servant, which I ain't going to mention about because of that, he didn't want to invest a public person in that advanced technology. It's only now coming out. We're 2018 now. How many years is that? I got privy to that information by his contacts and his business contacts. That's just one thing of these electrical self-operating cars. They're putting it into trains, you know. It's all this technology, advanced technology that we never get to hear about. Cut long story short, he was a very good businessman and taught me a lot of things because I went to the special private schools and education establishments. So regardless now, I've got no fear. I do not have, I might still have the odd anxiety like anybody, or just natural. But I don't have any fear of all these things now. Because I've done as much as I'm not giving up, but I've done as much as one is able to. I've done a lot already, and it's for the next generation, I hope. I hope for the sake of my grandchildren, you know, that one day my son will just click on before it gets too late. So, you know, they can do the worst to me. They can bloody well do the worst to me. Am I bothered? Bloody well not. They can label me as what they want, you know? And this is what they don't like. When you lose the fear of these things, these so-called darker side energy, I call it, in these individuals, when you lose the fear, they can't control you. They can't control your heart, your spirit, you know, no matter what gadgets they come up with next, no matter what they're going to do next. Do you know what they settled me again for this? Oh, there might be asbestos in my home. Look, come on. Common sense. My neighbour didn't get a letter like this. And this was IT produced, okay? And it's in my other room, so I can't get it out. Only 1 day's notice. This is another ploy. Another ploy. Oh, if I'm not seen to be letting somebody in, they could try and fearmonger, you know. Oh, if I'm not seen to letting this individual I don't know in, by this company I don't know in, claim to be on behalf of this housing company in UK. Oh, that I might not be with it, yeah. And that, oh, I could be putting other people at risk. Allegedly what happened in London, yeah. Allegedly, all those sore, thinking poor people that passed their lives that needlessly. What do you think they did that for? right? So now every town and city, anyone claiming to be borough council, like housing or social housing, that is in statute law. But the private limited companies, by the way, you do your research to find this out, but I don't want you to know this. So they're using this offer of this so-called surveyor to go round, and this is what they're trying to do. Oh, you've got to go around every part of your home to see if there's environmental health. I'm taking a peek, by the way. Environmental health, and see if there's any asbestos. Look, common sense tells you why they ain't bloody well repair that door. Now, if I had the funds, fiat currency, and the technical, like military do, and all these so-called public hidden hand kind of individuals I know about, I could set a trap to see who's coming in when I'm asleep. Now I said that, that's going to get you thinking, what's she talking about? What's she talking about? I ain't going to say much more about that, because how come a key element behind the ceiling, the toilet top bit, back of the wall, the bolts come out of the wall now. And that is trying to imply, oh, I need to report that. And that be another excuse for the housing employees, right? Oh, that's unsafe. Oh, how can you use the toilet now for your disabilities? You know, scaring trying to put the psyche onto me. Do you think that bothers me? No. Yeah. There's always a remedy. There's always a solution. You eventually start working out. And you see, on the aspect of this company, the letter was not dated. It wasn't sent to me as me, the woman. It was sent to a location, right? And it was worded in such a way like demand, we will be here such and such a time, or text this, or phone this to change it. It's not everyone, people around here, apart from 2 people that are retired, and 1 man I know has got unseen, unfortunate ill health, okay? I have to keep stunned. A lot of the things I know with some people around here too, unfortunately. So it's just general chit-chat, right? He did not get the same letter. It's only worded in such a way to try and imply this is required. This whole area, the building, is 1996. And I know from my contacts years ago, buildings, 1996, not built with asbestos. Right, it's before that period, and it's just to scaremonger. And in their version, we're doing things, and banks are checking out, and they were doing things to frighten people in. I must comply. I must fall into their trap. If I don't seem to let these people in, they can put it down. Oh, this is what they were going to do. If I don't seem to comply to their requirement, and that's only requirements, no obligation. The way I'm going to do this, I ain't going to say publicly, but if anyone wants to come into my home, and there's a very good this guy was just quoting statute law today on Facebook. The health and safety, this is going to make you laugh. I had to chuckle about this. This guy was saying, and if any visitor comes to this location, and it could be, i.e. public servant in a job role, and housing employee, and their representatives, oh, didn't you know that insurance liability, I am responsible for their health and safety. On this old statute law quoted, dated back 1957. And I had to look it up today, and I saw this, and I thought, you what? And it's a cut-out clause to not have these corporations, CEO, board of directors, held accountable for the breach of contract and negligence of what they've done to me. So I've got a get-out clause on this one about this offer of alleged asbestos assessment. Based on health and safety, it is not advisable to come anywhere near this private location for your own health and safety well-being, because there's a paper trail, i.e. email trail, of all the disrepairs. Oh, the housing employees don't think, do they? See, you catch them at own blinking pathetic games they play, and they think, oh, I won't suss that out. So, good old neighbour of mine, I know what it's like. You switched on, yeah? And I said, Tex, did you get this IT produced letter? Oh, I just said, did you get a letter about asbestos? Come on. Why do you think they got a female above me? Oh, she used to be in a care system, God rest her soul, bless her. But then she manipulated the guy, you know? Ever experienced anything like that? All due respect to her, right? I feel for the children. She used them to have the children, right? The family and her, right? And him and his family. Why do they think they disappeared suddenly for all summer last year and then reappeared? And why do you think there's suddenly all these damages, which I don't know if you've seen the post on Google Plus, and about the photographs, right? Seen on the party wall in the communal hallway outside my flat. Well, I wouldn't call it my flat, it's a flat. And the damages he does it deliberately. He bangs the fire door so it crashes against my wall, which is party bedroom wall to the main hallway wall. So it's cracked, yeah? And there's cracks also up behind his wet room wall, but it's party wall to the main doorway wall. It's all cracked, so there's an excuse. Health and safety of the housing side. Oh, we need to redo this building and it's going to cost, i.e. what they call it. Oh yeah, it's going to cost them using the, everybody's, by the way, everybody, people working, they ain't going to like it, are they? If that housing goes up, service charge goes up because of all this. Oh, what? Just because of my door is not replaced, so they think it's me, do they? Don't they think I've sussed out what they're doing, using this couple and using the bloke as he visits, and he deliberately behaves that way? My mates have witnessed all sorts you wouldn't believe, and the pettiness of when the relatives use my disabled bay, right? With the headlights on in broad daylight? Come on, do they think I'm bloody... It's another mind game, do you know what I mean? All these petty little things, it's sad. When I just know, life experience, you just know. And it's a way to get into your psyche again. So, of course, well, all due respect, I shall be just the honourable thing, as long as you stay in honour in doing your dealings and get your paper trail, email, whatever. Be aware, if you're on this so-called list being watched for whatever reason, just because you have an awakened heart, mind, body and soul, whatever in your own way, then they're going to use your weakness, alleged weakness, by the way. They try to get into your psyche to see where your buttons they can push, your weak points. Okay, be careful about that. And once you get clued up and once you have this information, and just don't talk about what you're going to do, just go and do it. Be observant in your surroundings and your own situations. Just watch the little patterns, the little things, not the big things, just tiny little pattern of things. And you'll soon put the dots and the puzzles together. And you trust your gut instinct. They want you to think and think and think and think, so you end up in a twist in your mindset, okay? And then they're going with their assumptions of their alleged authority. And unfortunately, you're dealing with these, these so-called, as I said, these people I met years ago. There's 1% elite families and the bloodlines go back in history. They don't care about the ordinary man or woman. They don't care about anyone. Because their own little DNA family groups of connections throughout all these areas, they get bred into positions. They don't get just suddenly a job as a CEO. They don't get suddenly a job as an international developer of a well-known corporation. There are the things I can't really talk about, but it's good people that have been very good to me over these years from moons ago, and they know full well they cannot get involved and help me in my situation now, but from their knowledge and their experiences and their help and what I've known, stayed with me, you see. And unfortunately, I've been deliberately sidetracked by a lot of things because they don't want people, not just about me. It's not just about me, by the way. It's not trying to say, oh, I this, oh, I that. No. It's just pure chance in life, experiences that go through things and suddenly you're switched on spiritually in your own way. Then you get your religious family turn against you. So they isolate you. And then this happens and that happens and that happens, and you suddenly think, oh, I'm alone, I'm alone. You're not alone. We're all on this earth in a short period of time. Feels like you are, perhaps, because the pressures of life, yes, reality. Real serious. Why do you think they're making people homeless? Needlessly. The state system is vast, not just with this corporation, United Kingdom. It's vast, and it goes back in history to the Vatican, and it's further than that. Very good people out there that gets all this information, but they don't want you to have time to do the research. So all I say is that, okay, they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. I'm not giving in, but I know within my heart, I will be in a better place one day. Yeah? And at the end of the day, what goes around will come around. So all those good people I met was for a reason. I didn't know it obviously then. I do now, of course. All this ill health, this is a physical side. My spirituality within me, looking within me, is helped me to come and awaken. And we all got our own ways of doing that. But it's only pure luck that I remember clearly what and who I met and how things really go on behind the scenes. I'm generalising things because I really do not, unfortunately, able to give you facts of who's this and who's that to aid you. Okay. Unfortunately, if I was somewhere abroad and able-bodied and have certain connections and neutralise them now, it might be a different story, because I would give you all the facts what I know to aid you in your life. But unfortunately, it's not worth me putting myself on the block for their easy target of what they're trying to do now. So it's a little bit about me, a bit of a picture, and I really don't give a monkey's what people think about me. And when you lose that, oh, why can't you do this and why can't you do that? So what? We all go through limitations. We all go through our things happen in life. That's a short period of this physical body on this earth, and they're destroying it. Why do you think? The weather, the food, all this is going on. Why? But when you suss all this out and you do your own little thing, your own little way, but when you start going a bit too much knowledge and they suss out that you know certain things, be careful. Be extremely careful. And if you've got good family friends, surround yourself. Do you know what they say? Keep your enemies closer than your actual family or friends. There's a reason behind that. And just be observant, I'm not saying, it's not about just trusting anyone. Nothing about that. There are really genuine good people out there, and I have stumbled across them. And there are pure goodness in people's hearts. And I have seen, observed things in ways that I cannot put into words. So I know we're on here for a short period of time of life, on this physical earth. We're all connected, you know. And I am not in any particular man-made religion. It's just life experience. And about 2 years ago, I wouldn't even know half of this. And it's only by my own sheer determination. And my mum's DNA was a gut shut instinct. And yeah, I'll get my maintenance, I'll get anybody, you know. But I ain't a fool. And they're relying on me to step up, to say something, to do a stream, to mention. I've had to delete a couple of streams because I sussed it out the other day. I was so weak. My all this infection going on, I can't shift. I sussed out, hold on, that email to housing company employee. Hi Ted, how are you? You alright? Have you done any research? You doing any sort of sussing out anything by now? I hope you are, because there are more of us out there, you know, that suss out all these things and do your own research in your own way, in your own situation. You will just stumble across amazing things. And it's just pure luck. Thank you, Ted. Thank you. That's so kind of you. Thank you. And by the way, watch out for this drinking weather. You know anything? Geoengineering? The weather modification? My channel started off that way, right? Because of one website, www.aircraft.org, and Dean Middleton's website, geoengineeringwatch.org. And that's very many. I found out and not to sign anything. Yes! Brilliant. Brilliant. Right. Here's a tip. Anybody want to know this little tip? Let me find it. You might not be able to read my writing, but here's a tip. See that thumbprint mark? Get yourself a red ink pad, okay, with red ink. On the right hand side of your documentation, you're putting your thumbprint seal, your counterclaiming out an offer, for example. Everything's in contract law and commerce. So when you're copy claiming your seal, you put my copy claim seal in red ink writing. And by the way, be careful, because public servants, especially nowadays, will think, hey, you cannot word it in such a way. Oh yeah, I was there too, spending hours on certain subjects. Yeah, be careful in your studying, right? You go down many rabbit holes, and be careful what you search, depending what you want to go on. Yeah, because it can lead you down and distract you on too many rabbit holes, but it's all linked down to the energy, your physical being energy, and your signature is what these. As I said years ago, I didn't know this, but the key people on their walk of life, i.e., as said before, these people that go to these schools, private education, learn Latin. There's a reason for that, and the industry they get into and commerce. There's a reason behind that, because you think about the so-called certain well-connection people, put it that way, I can't be more specific than that, and everything comes in black lettering. It's always an offer, a contract. Why only sign name in black, not red? It's amazing how much I've learnt in a few hours. Yeah, Ted, absolutely. Everything in the Royal Mail, in the Post, in commas, is to, i.e., reference to that subject I said about, Ted, right? the live birth record, okay, and the Crown Corporation, City of London, created a birth certificate. You cannot automatically access that value of the bit bond connected to the Crown Corporation because you do not own the title. Yeah, great, that's brilliant. You do not own the title to use the fraudulent use of a birth certificate name. You are the man or the woman of the living, and if you are in that position, as I said, from the age of 7, who knows? Your parents do not know that you can claim back the estate of the Crown Corporation that stole your worth of the state. And that's why everything in statute law is applications and declarations and must and demands. And when you start learning the Black's Law Dictionary wording, the earlier editions are better. Yes, the process is the basic information to start your learning, okay? You look into, just imagine a triangle, okay? So on the right, okay, you're the beneficiary, all the beneficiaries, okay, meant to be, are born natural and inalienable rights are all born with. Like these videos, if you ever watched them by John Harris, these videos, and there's so many other ones, like I said before, about common law versus statute law and how the force of law can be used, because if you don't claim that live birth record and you're in the public, these corporations, their employees, like public servants, sees you as a ward of the state. So they can impose the statute law, like in my situation going on. If you have your solid tangible means, i.e. land or gold, silver, if you're lucky enough to invest in that with this fiat currency, the values, I haven't got anything to hand to show you, but numbers with the letters on these. Why do you think they're bringing the plastic UK currency in? Did you know that they take, yes, absolutely, yeah. Why do they take the bundle of joy away from the parents? Yeah. They take the bundle of joy away from the parents at the time of the live birth to do that. Because that is going to be the joined up from birth, from when the parents sign that document, shoved in front of them by that man or woman representing that corporation for the Crown. Yeah, there's proof. It should be known. Yeah, it's been known for a while for these certain elite families and certain education establishments they go to. But it's the ordinary man and woman. They don't want us to know. It's going on for years. Long time. But a lot of good people behind the scenes don't publicise this, you see. Because if they do, they're going... I know. I taught my son, right, when I knew he was going to have another child by his wife, right? I said to him, it's up to you, but do not never use the word registration your child at birth. He just thought it was good off my head. He sent me a text, I want to join the Freemasons. Excuse me, I said, it's not about business. It's not about getting on in business. Why do you think what I said 2 years ago in the 90s, what I got to know? As an adult, his own right to do what he wants to do. But he's absolutely gone and done all that, hasn't he? And how the heck? Why? Shame. Great on you, Ted. Great. Brilliant. Because more people can help. You know, you're talking generally with people you might know. Be careful how you approach it, though. Because don't forget, a lot of people are, unfortunately, it's not their fault. They're still asleep. They're still dumbed down. That's a deliberate. Yeah, absolutely. And this is why I feel frustrated too, because I've got grandchildren. And so many, I see these families when I'm able to, that is, I'm out and about, born And they still don't know. They're walking about thinking the weather's normal. They're buying all these coke and all this. I was like that years ago before I started learning. But now I know what I know. I cannot concentrate on that anymore. I have to concentrate on the spiritual aspect of my life and situation, right? So, glad you'll be able to get on that journey. I'm standing outside the maternity hospital with a placard. Oh, that's so great. That is so great. Yeah, be careful, by the way. I'll give you a tip. The corporation known as a hospital, and check it in Dun & Bradstreet or Company's House, so-called NHS, right? Check it out. If you're on their land, i.e. I know it's public paid for, but they can use their security to move you. So don't try and not get, you know, like just outside where the cars come in or something. Don't get yourself too cold, by the way, in this weather. And yeah, absolutely. No. Your freedom of speech, absolutely, in a public place. I'm just on about in what their eyes will deem their private property, i.e. surrounding buildings and land. Yeah, I found that years ago, okay? I was one to have my say years ago, and I won't go into it all now and bore anybody to tears because I don't need to get on and do things. But just be aware how you do it and watch for the cameras and watch your smart technology, turn it off, you know, if you'll be able to leave at home or whatever, because the chip in your smart technology will be tracking you. That's how the system works. Yes, good on you. Absolutely, absolutely. Be aware. If you want to be careful, because my experience in PR media, choose which one you want to go into, okay? And yeah, that's cool, because choose which one you go for, the press, which paper, because check to see the bigger picture, who can, not just the local paper, because it's usually owned by a chain of corporations. Yeah, it's the way you, if you're able to set up a blog, you know, like a radio blog or a written blog online, and then just link it up to other awaken sites like freeyourminds.com, I think it's called, and link up with people that because everybody uses social media now, don't they? If you go for a pint in the pub or something, and you got good mates or something you trust, and you just slip a little bit of information at a time into a conversation. And have you ever thought of like, why do you think there's all these cuts in public services going on, you know? You usually get the standard response, you know, people that might not be waking up. But yeah, but did you know, I found this out by sussing something out. No, they don't. A lot of people do when they obviously wake up, and when they're out when they're out of the state system, and they're able to be healthy and they're able to be self-sufficient, i.e. working for themselves, or, you know, working in the private trust law, then and they don't have the attachment to the national insurance number, NHS number, this is when they cannot get the property of the parent, i.e. the baby you joy, right? This is how it's important to educate people that before they have children, you know, are thinking about it, because obviously, why do you think they can take children or parents for minimal situations? Bigger picture on what's going on about all of that and all. And it's all because they see that property as a crown owned. Yeah, like they see me as I'm owned by the state. This is how they can portray that draconian measures onto me, you know, and so many other people that are not waking up. And a lot of people are happy to go to work and watch their telly and do the same old. The state has no right. They are stealing blood for purposes not given consent. Absolutely. They need, it's all not just verbal consent, by the way. Right, in contract law, it's your intentions and your actions as well. Okay, I really need to go because I ain't well. But thank you ever so much for tuning in, everybody that has. And thank you, Ted. That's great. And I'll be preoccupied dealing with what I need to do in this delicate situation at the moment. And I might have to do an emergency stream if anything kicks off this week. So watch out for that. I will try. If I can survive this bug going round, I tell you, Ted. I will try. And yeah, it's one of them period of times. Thanks very much, Ted. Thanks. There's a lot of good people out there, and I'm sure you'll get there. You know, keep up trust your heart, right? Trust your gut feeling and your heart and all this, because, you know, and I don't know if you do meditation or whatever, but as from my perspective, to get me through all this, what I'm going through for so long, it's like, oh, like yesterday I was went down because I've got all this going on and it distracts you down. But today you find a little inch of energy and you start sussing things out, you know. And it's another challenging week. It's always is, you know. You're just playing the game. It's just playing like a Monopoly game. Just a game of chess, really, isn't it? What's the next move for these individuals, you know? Watch for these little things. Just being alert and trying to get your rest at the same time. It's important to, you know, do little things like that, whatever you feel you need to do. God bless. Keep safe. Thanks, everybody. Gotta go. God bless.